What is drawing?
Oh. What is drawing?
For me, drawing is working out ideas.
There's something about drawing that's kind of magic.
Drawing is this very primitive thing.
It's actually a very good question.
Whether it's the fish line on the boulders or, you know, or the bells or these little rocks. That's what drawing is.
Drawing for me is about charting and tracking, branding, marking, burning, scorching.
This is also drawing. I mean, sort of building these little forms to create something in space.
Drawing a repetitive form constantly is a single form of focus, so it really just brings me in. And
drawing is something different for every single person.
What is drawing?
I don't do them on the computer, and a lot of people wonder why I don't, and it is because they're missing the point of the endurance test and the subtle hand that creates the touch. They're not perfect. There are mistakes in all of them. Every one of them has flaws. I mostly don't erase. For the most part, I don't erase, and I certainly couldn't erase on a drawing like that. So they're almost entirely additive, and as a result, it is very much about the process and me trying to be as perfect as I can, but it doesn't always happen, and I just accept the flaws. You want me to point out my flaws? There's 2 measurement errors, which most people wouldn't notice. But the one that I ended up doing is much darker and denser than this. The final one. And there's some that aren't done, but like this is not done, this drawing. The gradually increasing of these squares. This is early. Others. I've looked a lot at Egyptian hieroglyphics and tried to understand like different patterning and what it means. Like, oh, like the zigzag is the symbol for water, which it's used over and over again. I was just trying to illustrate a text on that one. And there's some that aren't done, but like this is not done, this drawing. But take on my own life. Sometimes I have, well, like that one called Crossing. Obviously, I knew I had fixed a system and just wanted to see if some magic would happen, which it did. Every single line and point corresponds to something over there. This line corresponds to that line. Every single line and point. I've always worked with tons of color, and I just decided I'd had enough of all the color, and I decided I wanted to do black and white drawings, just pencil drawings. It's the most direct way of working, I find. It's like you can't hide behind a drawing, really. There's no, you know, it's like an etching is so seductive. Any etched line looks beautiful to me. You know, you can get really seduced by aspects of painting and the materiality of paint and the scale of painting, but there's something about drawing that's just so direct and you can't hide behind it.
You know, unconsciously I pick something up at the farm, you know, and I know I'm gonna bring it here to this table. And then I decide where it goes, so that's, I suppose, like drawing, isn't it? You know, because it goes a specific place. And, you know, people come in here and straighten this out for me, which really pisses me off. Because I don't want it all lined up in perfect little rows. I mean, I do line stuff up, and that is sort of a thing, but I like it, you know, left alone. I guess it would be like if somebody drew on your drawing, right? In fact, Peter Anelli came into my studio, and he does this once a year. He comes, and he says, you know, this is really your work.
Right.
This is it. You should just sell this for $10,000. You know, I can just stick something somewhere, and then as I'm walking by, you know, say, you know, oh, I just want to put this inside this, and then walk away. And that's a drawing to me, or an idea, I guess, you know. So like here, okay, for example, this table is all about stone and water. So I just start collecting things that say, you know, stone and water to me. And I'm hoping, you know, that they'll get together, you know. Now, I have, you know, a major insecurity about the fact that I can't draw. And from that handicap, you know, it's propelled me into, I think, the three-dimensional world. Because I can draw with my hands, with a material. You know, I have no problem, you know, with these bells pushing the clay into the form that I want, because, you know, my hand has a brain of its own and it just knows what to do. But if I tried to draw that bell with a pencil, it would look like a cartoon. So maybe I am drawing, you know, it with the, you know, that really didn't occur to me. So, you know, and maybe with these, I'm drawing too, these rocks. It's a catalyst. From that deficiency, it just propels me into, you know, these other ways of expressing myself, whatever's inside here, you know. And, you know, whether it's the fish line on the boulders, or, you know, or the bells, or these little rocks. That's what drawing is. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Here.